Piaget talked about emotion and cognition, and what he said about emotion cognition is that there is no cognition without emotion. He called what he said basically is that all emotion, all action is driven by people's emotions.
Experimental psychologists began more than 100 years ago to ask what it is, what factors there are that control learning, that basically modulate it, that make it effective, that make it stronger, that vivify it. And this has been a great interest in psychology and a great interest in experimental neuroscience for ever since.
Often when we talk about learning, we think only of the neocortical processes involved. How are ideas and facts stored? How do we retrieve them? How do we associate them? What's rarely studied is that nothing is the subject of our attention until and unless an affect is triggered.
We know, for example, that if you learn under the right emotional conditions, you never forget. And the learning is very effective. A very simple sort of class of animal experiments is if you give a rat something he really desires or something it really hates, it doesn't take very many trials for the animal to learn a behavior. On the other hand, if you give it something that's just a little bit rewarding or just a little bit punishing, it can take 1,000 practice tries or 10,000 practice tries to get the point, right? So there are these powerful modulators of learning that apply in every older brain. In learning, in teaching, in the classroom, in anything you do in the brain, the most effective way to drive change is to have those conditions right.